Hey boys and girls, today we're going to do another boring unboxing video of this Weber 28-inch griddle, so stay tuned. I don't think I did that unboxing right. Long story short, I bought this on Amazon because it was on sale. I think they're clearancing them out because Weber is coming out with their new version of this griddle sometime this year. Unfortunately, it looks like the new models are going to be over $600, whereas this one was $333, I think, after all the discounts I got. So I don't have a griddle, and I wanted to try it out, and I'm pretty familiar with Weber products. So, you know, seemed like a win-win to me. The only problem is this little thing. This lid that they've got on there is just, that doesn't look optimal. So today we're going to try to make our own. That's right, we're going to try to make our own. Who knows how this is going to turn out? Probably badly. Okay, so this thing was well packed. We've got the little lid that I'm probably not going to use. This is what we're after. This is the griddle itself. This is probably what we're going to start welding on. And then it came with a bunch of other stuff. Drip pan, knobs, wheels, shelf, you know, the legs, there's 2 packages of those, a bunch of nuts and bolts, another shelf, I think this is the rod for the wheel, and I'm not sure what this is. This is probably, this is probably the gas cylinder holder and tube, whatever you want to call that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. I don't think anyone really wants to see me do that, but maybe you do, but that's not the point of this video. Alright, so all I'm really doing here is just cutting up some steel to make a rectangular frame that I'm going to put over the griddle. This is just some 1-inch by 1-inch square tubing that I've got lying around. To be quite honest, it's a little too thick for the job, but this is what I had, and I didn't feel like going back to my steel guy to go get more steel, because that guy gets enough of my money as it is. Here I'm just cleaning up the burrs on the end to get it prepped for welding, and you know, this took longer than I actually thought it was because there were a lot of these little burrs on the end because my blade is getting kind of dull. Here I'm just welding up the tubes. I don't know if I'm just rusty at welding. I haven't done this in a while. So these are some pretty crappy looking welds, at least from my perspective. Wasn't proud of them, but thankfully that's where the grinder came into play. So as you can see, nothing really hard here, just making a rectangular frame. Okay, as you can see, we've gone ahead and welded up the frame and then ground down the welds itself. So this overlaps the griddle by about ½ an inch, at least on the left and the right and the front. The back is square, and I'll show you why I'm doing that in a bit. But as you can see right now, this is a pretty quick little job. You just take some square tube, about an inch on each side, and just go ahead and weld it up. Used some 45s to join them together. That was probably a bad idea because my saw cuts a little bit off 45, so it took a little bit of welding to get those gaps closed. But as you can see, not too terrible a job, not the greatest, but it'll work. Alright, next thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut this piece of sheet steel so it fits the top, and then we're going to weld it on. And this is pretty thin stuff, so I should be able to go through it with one of the saws I've got, hopefully, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean up all this rust. As you can see, it's been in the shop for a while. Okay, so as you can see, I've plug welded all of the little holes for the sheet metal onto the frame itself. This is a lot of little plug welds. And I need to clean this thing up a little bit, but as you can see, it's sitting on there pretty nicely. This is going to be nice and flush, and I'm going to probably mount these with just some barbecue hinges. I might actually attach a little piece of steel here and drill through. That way I can take it off. I'll tack weld the hinges onto that instead of like actually tack welding it onto the grill itself. Well, I might do that. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see how it goes. But for right now, this is mostly done. Just gonna go ahead and tack on these hinges, clean it up, and then probably give it a paint of clear coat. So stay tuned. We'll see what comes next. So at the last minute, I decided that I didn't like the way the sheet metal looked just laying on top of the frame. So I went ahead and ran a bead of weld all the way around the perimeter of the frame. Then I went ahead and just ground down the welds so they were nice and flush. I don't know if this was worth it, but it looks a little bit better now to me. On top of that, I went ahead and added these little clamp downs, just in case the lid was going to warp when it heated up. Not sure if that's going to happen, but it's pretty good insurance. Especially since I had a big bag of these hinges or clamps lying around for years that I've never had a chance to use. So I think it was a win-win. And of course, if you have a lid, you have to have a handle to open it. And so I went ahead and bent this piece of 1/2-inch round bar in the vise with this piece of pipe. I found this is the easiest way to do this without using a torch and doesn't require any fire. And as you can see right here, I'm taking some meticulous measurements to try to get this nice and dead center, and then tack welding it in place just to make sure it looks okay. As you can see, the little clamps are welded on already on the sides. Alright, so here she is, finally finished. I decided instead of just plug welding all of these, I went ahead and actually went around the entire edge and welded it and then ground it down so it was nice and smooth. That was a pain. Also added these little clamp downs just because. I'm not sure if when this starts heating up, is it going to warp or anything, so decided to add these just for safety. Add this little handle. Hopefully it won't get too hot just because I won't be using it that much. It'll either be up or down. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, let's see. So as you can see, she opens up pretty easily. And she stays open right now, but anyway, this is going to be resting against the brick wall, so this lid's going to be resting on that wall if it does get looser. I've actually got to go clean this out before I actually use it. I'm probably going to go ahead and clear coat the outside of this lid just so it doesn't rust, because it's not stainless steel, it's actually just regular mild steel. You may ask, why didn't I use stainless steel? Go ahead and price out stainless steel, then you'll get your answer. Anyway, I went ahead and added this lid, or lip, I guess you could say, just so it protects the little hinges down here from any rainwater or anything like that. I'm going to leave this thing without a cover for right now, just to see how it does. It's got a little bit of an overhang here, so any type of water should basically run off. And that's pretty much it. It wasn't too hard to build, it's pretty easy. Except for the welding all the way around and then grinding it down. That was just a pain. But aside from that, looks pretty cool. At least I think so. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. As I said, I'm going to go ahead and clear coat this, and then hopefully later on I'll make a video of me making some burgers. And possibly eating burgers. Alright, you guys have a good one.